Welcome back to bluesywater.com. It's been a while since we put out a video due to the holidays, and we're back with our next video series here. And we're going to be focusing on a very important piece of healing, which falls under the title of consciousness work. When I first discovered this product, I really had two major goals. One was to have a profound tool for cleaning up environmental toxins, and this product, as just to review briefly, has the ability to go everywhere in the body. This water literally seek out toxins, eliminate them, and clean up the cellular body. I've been on this product for quite a while now, and it just continues to improve in all aspects. So remember that this is a profound detoxifier, and the environmental toxins are overwhelming. But another issue is, that goes along with environmental toxins, is the amount of information or consciousness that we carry in our minds and our consciousness that are very harmful to our being. All the memories, the traumas, and this is an enormous topic, and we're going to take this in a series of videos. So briefly, first of all, let's just approach this very pragmatically. Whenever something shows up in your mind that causes you stress, that's something you would want to work on and find a way to alleviate the symptoms, which can be as extreme as getting extremely sick, heart attack, stroke, things like that when you're super stressed out, anxiety attacks, panic, etc., etc. But when the system goes into stress, it essentially goes into tremendous constriction and blocks the circulation of energy in the body. And the Chinese call this qi stagnation. It's a form of tremendous constriction. So we all know what stress feels like, but rarely do many of us realize just how impactful that is on the entire system. So basically, every time you have profound constriction, it literally blocks the flow of energy to the cells. It's like choking yourself. So one of the things, of course, is to deal with that anxiety and that stress. So the first thing I'd like to talk about, and you can find this on my practitioner site, which we'll post below, is something called the Hoʻoponopono teachings. This is a Hawaiian consciousness teaching, goes way back. And it really is very pragmatic. I've studied many forms of consciousness work, and I really love the innocence and the heartfelt quality of the Hoʻoponopono teachings. So basically, what they say is we are carrying all these memories, and they go way, way back. It isn't just our own memories. It's the memories of our ancestors. So in a sense, think of our brain and this field we're in right now as kind of a computer that's able to receive all kinds of information. So rarely do we realize that we are literally receiving information from many, many sources. So as the information shows up, what we want to do is go into what they call a cleaning mode, or a way to clean these memories. So the first thing that's discussed by the teacher mourner, who is the sort of main modern, call it the master teacher of this work, is the first thing you have to deal with is fear. So we're back to the stress, and we're going to discuss in a series of videos different ways to try to immediately regulate the physiology so you can calm down and relax. And one of the videos we have done previously, which you can see on our site, is regarding the breathing mask. This is a way to create relaxation. We're going to also discuss in future videos using various movement therapies, such as a mini trampoline, a rebounder, a chi machine, which is another way of moving the energy body, rocking the body. And you can look these up actually on Google, but a chi machine is a very relaxing device. The breathing practice, as we just talked about, is another way. There's various supplements you can take to relax. So there's a whole strategy towards relaxation. So Morna talks about the first thing is literally dealing with the fear. So when you're in fear or anxiety or stress, doing these movement therapies. People go for a walk, etc., go for a swim, go for a run. These are all ways to immediately regulate that fear response physiologically. The next thing she does talk about is a breathing practice, which is learning to slow down your breathing. And if you, once again, review our Breathe Like a Yogi a video, you will, for dummies, you will get a quick class in breathing and the physiology of breathing. So we must first deal with the fear, and then we must learn to slow down our breathing, which effectively creates a deeper relaxation state. And then in the Ho'oponopono, we go into what's called the cleaning practice. So what is this cleaning practice? Well, to start off, let's just talk about their model. So when you are feeling this stressful information coming through you, when these memories start to channel through you, how can you effectively, what they call, clean them or liberate them? So most people, what they'll do is try to just not pay attention to the memories, to the thoughts that are coming through them. But a lot of times it just doesn't work. They come back. Sometimes the more you resist, there's a saying, the more you resist, the more it persists. So then the other school of thought would say, well, we try to embrace these memories. But these memories are very, very distorted. They're very persistent. And when you try to embrace them, that doesn't help a lot of times because they just keep coming and you just can't break out of this vicious cycle. So the model, first of all, is to try to understand or have a model of what's going on. So in Ho'oponopono, the way it's described is that the subconscious is sending up these memories. Now, they describe the subconscious as the inner child. So basically, the inner part of your nature, part of you that is storing or feeling or receiving these memories, much like movies, is literally sending them up to the conscious mind. But the conscious mind doesn't have the capabilities to clean or clear these memories. So then that kind of renders you powerless. So what are you to do? So the next step, they say, is simply, this is a prayer. First of all, we thank the part of us that's sending up the memories. The part of us is literally asking for these memories to be clean. So when we get hit with these memories, our first reaction, because we are powerless, is to either condemn that part of us for bringing up the memories. So it's self-condemnation, anger, fear, etc. And we don't really understand what's going on. So the way they describe it is that the inner part of our nature is the inner child, the one that's feeling the pain, the one that's always felt these memories from early on, from the very beginning. The disturbing information that the inner part of us is repeating or sending back up, they call it data. So imagine it's very similar to a computer where it's running great and all of a sudden you go online and you get a virus and your computer starts operating terribly and you just don't know what's going on. So the first thing is to acknowledge and say, thank you for sending up this disturbing information. It's an opportunity to correct or heal the problem. So by first acknowledging the information is a big step. So in that prayer, that's just simply saying thank you to the part of you that's sending up very disturbing information. So rather than repressing or judging it, you're being grateful for an opportunity. You're acknowledging that something's going on. The second part is literally to be kind to the part of you that's being afflicted. So you distinguish between the data. So you don't just throw, some people will do this, they'll throw their computer against the wall literally when they get a virus. It doesn't operate properly, they just pick it up and throw it. Well, that would be sort of suicide, basically. But other people might say, what's going on? My computer was operating great, now it's operating poorly, so what can I do? So the first thing you might try is a reboot. Sometimes that will do the problem, especially with cell phones. But if that doesn't work, now you kind of recognize that there are viruses out there and you go looking for a virus cleaning protocol. If you have a good virus cleaner on your computer to begin with, chances are you're going to get much less infections. But if you don't have one, you're going to have to go find somebody to help clean this virus. Sometimes you have to reinstall literally the entire system. But the process of attending to the self that's afflicted or showing some care and just investigating how you can start to help yourself is a big first step. So now you're really looking into ways to effectively clean this data that's coming through you. And we're going to get into a lot more depth about what's called cleaning tools, or literally like virus cleaning programs, ways to clean this data. But let's just for now just recognize that we've now recognized the data is there. We can't deny it. We can't throw the computer against the wall. So we must learn to develop strategies of cleaning the data. And we're distinguishing between the system that's being afflicted or your own true natural nature. You're not blaming yourself for the affliction. You're literally investigating. The other two very important parts of this prayer in the Ho'oponopono tradition is, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Now, this is very misunderstood because a lot of people assume that this is blame, guilt, etc., but it really is very simple. If you get a virus on your computer and you recognize that you have to do something, that's called, I'm sorry, please forgive me. It's self-responsibility. It's saying, here it is. It's the problem is, you can't avoid it. You can't throw the computer against the wall, although that is one solution. So you really, at this point, are seeking a skillful way to eliminate the problem. And you're acknowledging your responsibility in the process. Now, with the human psyche and the human soul, it's much more deeper because a lot of the information or data that's streaming through us comes through the ancestors. And they talk about this over and over. The moment you're conceived, you literally are inheriting the memories of your ancestors, their sorrows, everything they went through. It's like every person's life is like a mini movie, and you have a little bit of that movie inside of you. So this is very, very deep and very challenging, and this is why we learn all these practices. And once you start to understand how to communicate with the memories that are literally born into you, this becomes a profound healing practice. So again, we're acknowledging responsibility, and this is a huge, huge piece in holistic medicine. When you say, I am responsible, not to blame someone else or not to label what's going on and try to get it fixed, when you actually acknowledge that what's going through you and what's happening inside of you is your responsibility, that in and of itself is a very big step and can start to create a healing process. Now, the point of all these prayers is a setting up process for a process that will clean the memories. And this is probably the most challenging thing to understand. Number one, we cannot do it. The afflicted mind cannot clean itself. It literally has to create a field or a state of cleaning where the cleaning takes place. They call this petitioning divinity. Many people would simply call this prayer. But the problem in the prayer process is, how do we, first of all, recognize or access what's going on inside of us? And this is a huge, huge question, which again, is going to take a series of videos to explain. So we need to develop a language system to communicate with the subconscious. Now, the bluesy water, part of its beauty is that it starts to work at the cellular level, literally where the data is stored. It's stored in every cell in our body. The memories are stored everywhere. So water, you wash clothes. Water is the profound cleaning tool for everything that we know. And this water has the ability literally to go in and start washing away or cleaning some of those memories by the fact that it's literally liberating the cells that are storing the memories. So that kind of containment or that holding is a big process. So we want to create an environment where things can move through and process. The more we get that cleaning process going, much like a stream that cleans itself through its own movement, the more we can start to kind of move up the ladder, so to speak, of consciousness cleaning. So we want to clean the vehicle that carries the memories. Some people would argue just simply move the energy all the time and you're free. I believe that just like a computer, you might free your own computer from the virus and then your computer's operating really well, but what about all the other people who got the virus that you might have passed it on to? So now it becomes an issue of how do we assist the entire field of consciousness to get cleaned. And this is why it might be referred to as a spiritual practice, in that first we must try to clean effectively our own memories, our own housing of these memories, but then we want to literally go into cyberspace, or as one of my teachers calls it, hyperspace, where the information literally is moving about through many lifetimes, not just our own existence. So this is very fascinating. I encourage you to, first of all, please check out our links to Ho'oponopono teachings. We also have other practices on healing the mind. In future videos, we're going to touch upon the somatic movement therapies I talked about earlier, the rebounder, the chi machine, the breathing practices, various nutritional strategies. We're also going to talk about some other healing processes that allow you to heal the subconscious mind. One of the reasons I went into advanced body work was because the language of acupuncture, cranial sacral therapy, in body work is much closer to what's really going on deep within. And when you learn to access the fields of the subconscious through the body, and this is one important piece, how to listen to your body, how to feel the information but not get overwhelmed, and to move the information. So how to ground the body, how to start to communicate, this is important. And we'll discuss this once again in future videos. So we'd like to thank you, and remember, everything does work better with Blue Z water, and if you're having psychological woes, stress, troubles, please start drinking this water. It'll start to heal the brain, the endocrine gland system. You'll start to process better and start to clear some of that older information just naturally and spontaneously. Remember to breathe, slow down your breathing, find ways that relax you, whether it be taking a bath or going for a walk. We'll discuss these other practices later on. Find what really soothes your soul, and be good to yourself, and remember what the stress that you're going through, think of it like a virus, think of it like data. Say to yourself, I'm going to find a way to effectively learn the techniques to have my own internal virus cleaning mechanism. Thank you once again, and we'll be talking to you soon. Take care.